Welcome to Glad We Had This Chat with me, Caroline Hirons. It's your one-stop shop for all things skincare, beauty and beyond. My guest this week first captivated audiences back in 2019 when she emerged victorious in Series 5 of Love Island. Since then, her fan base has grown and remained loyal, drawn in by her refreshing honesty and determination to break stereotypes. A force of nature with skin to die for. Please welcome Amber Gill. You're right, mate.
Action. Yeah, I'm good.
How's things?
Good, all good, you know.
You're looking well.
Thanks.
Glowy.
Thanks. Skin rocks, babe.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
Give you £10 later.
Yeah. And for 20% off. No, I'm joking. You're going to kill it.
So make that happen now. What are you up to?
I've got a book coming out. My second one is coming out in the summer, so that's quite a big project.
What's it about?
It's another fiction, another romance.
Oh.
2 girls, though, this time, which we don't get enough. We love representation. WLW, we love it. We love it. So, yeah, that's coming out in the summer. I'm really excited because when I was younger, I used to read loads, but you don't read anything about lesbian relationships or bisexual relationships. You don't read that. So I wanted to do that.
I'm sure the media don't think there's a need for it.
No, they don't.
Like Queen Victoria, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Doesn't exist.
Ridiculous.
Doesn't exist in most people's worlds, but it does for some. And for those people, I want to bring something out. And so I'm doing that. I'm really excited. Even more excited than the first one. I probably shouldn't say that, but
no, you can say, why not? It's good.
I am.
And you've been climbing mountains.
Yeah.
Like, every time I see you doing something, I'm like, what is she doing now? Like, what are you doing now? I'm like, where are you? And then you're like, oh, I'll do this, but I'm going up Kilimanjaro or something. And I'm like, what? How, when? And then the next time I see you, had your hair done, and I'm like, right, okay, so you're going through something good because you're looking glowing and positive and all this. And then you're in the gym, and I'm like, love that.
Yes.
But I thought you always worked out.
I did work out. Have you ever seen that meme about the unemployed friend where you don't know, you can FaceTime, they'll be at the top of the mountain or whatever? That's me.
But you're not unemployed.
That's me. No, I'm not unemployed, but it looks like I am because I do far too much. It's like, well, what are you doing? Like, climbing Kilimanjaro was just fun.
You did not climb it for fun.
Yeah, everyone was like, where's it televised? So it's not televised. So like, so why are you doing it? I'm like, because I just enjoy that kind of thing, you know.
Who did you go with?
Bunch of random people.
I can't.
A bunch of people that I didn't know, and I had them doing TikToks and everything. They were like, who is this girl that we've brought
But
on
that's
the
the
trip?
joy of being 26, right? You can just be like, I'm going to go climb Kilimanjaro.
Yeah.
I'd go with some randoms. It'd be fun.
But I like to remove myself from my life a bit and just throw myself in the deep end, you know, because I get too comfortable in London. It's too cozy. I'm around the same people. So it's good to just throw yourself out there. I don't really wear makeup, but I've got none of my home comforts. I've got none of my friends. Just see how I survive.
Well, you clearly thrive.
I did. I loved it.
And what's next? You're going to do Everest?
Well, right. So I've got a bit
of it. It was a joke.
No, I've got a bit of a toxic trait now. So I had no effect altitude. We'll have no idea why. But at the top of the mountain, I had like 94% oxygen when everyone else was in the 80s. And I had no headaches, no nosebleeds, no nothing. People were like physically sick. And so now my toxic trait is thinking,
just for the crack.
Exactly.
Imagine a TikTok from the top.
Exactly. He has me from the top of Everest with no extra oxygen. I do think that I could do it. I do.
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, it's quite a bit higher, but still, 94% at the top is like insane.
Yeah, that's great. For no reason.
And you didn't get sick or anything, and you came down easily and
nothing. I came down and I said, God, you can sort of feel the difference in altitude now, and everyone was like, yeah, we've been ill for a week, and you're just feeling it now, bitch.
What spurred the going back to the gym and sort of getting into the fitness more? Because you have done a bit, haven't you? You seem to be doing it more. Yeah,
I dip in and out. I don't know why, but I dip in and out. As soon as I feel a shred of stress, I either eat loads or eat nothing. There's no in between.
Yeah, because it doesn't look to me like your weight's changed, but then I don't look at you and see your weight.
It doesn't. Yeah, it hasn't. Like, lots of people are saying I'm too skinny now.
Oh, fuck off.
But it was only a stone. Like, it was only a stone, and it was over a long period of time.
But maybe it's just because, I mean, as we know, when you're on telly and stuff and podcasts, like Chandler being the camera adds £20, how many cameras are on you? I watch clips back and I'm like,
yeah,
you're a bit bloated, babe. So maybe people just see you in different angles or see you on TV.
Yeah.
Because everyone who's ever seen me do something like this morning, when they see me, they go, you look different. And I know what they mean is you look taller and thinner.
Yeah.
That's what they mean. People don't think I'm tall,
yeah,
which I find very entertaining. I'm like, I'm always photographed next to other people.
People think I'm very tall. I know. I'm like a little tiny little dot. I wish I wasn't as short. I'm like 5'3".
Yeah.
But I don't give that energy, which I'm very, very happy about.
You definitely don't. You give Doberman energy.
Yeah.
So like you could be a short dog, but you're going to go
big
for
energy.
something. Yeah, big energy.
So it doesn't really matter about the height.
I mean, we've been in places where you've had to have big energy, and, you know.
Oh, God.
We won't go into, but, you know, where you've had to be like, So
it can come out.
What's your favourite thing to do to work out?
Boxing. And it gets rid of a lot of internal rage.
Got it.
So if I've done boxing on a morning, there's not a thing in the world that could bother me the rest of the day, which is great.
My lot going, we're going to sign her up for boxing.
Honestly, it's great. It's great.
Delving into your past way before you even became known is obviously what I'm going to do, because you, as am I, were a beauty therapist.
I was, yeah.
Where did you work? What did you do? What treatments did you do? What was your most hated treatment and your best?
Oh, okay. So I worked with my auntie in her salon in Newcastle. My best treatment was a facial.
What products did you use?
Yonka.
Oh, God, that's going back.
Yeah, Yonka. And there was one called cellular something. And I used to get a really good glow, and that's what I was known for in that little salon.
There you see. There you go.
I get a good glow with that facial, so that was like my forte. What did I not like? I don't think I disliked anything, really.
Did you do waxing?
Yeah, I loved it.
Did you?
Yeah.
What, even a fanny?
Yeah. Yeah. Hot wax, though. Hot wax.
I can't do it.
Bright colours.
Last
and
time I
stuff.
waxed a fanny was in my exam.
You really didn't do it again?
Nope. Mate, you know what I'm like? I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
I'm not being funny. They obviously were trying to test you. This woman's bush was like epping forest.
Oh, no.
No. But I'm sorry. And I was 8 months pregnant when I took my exam.
No.
So I'm huge. It's summer. I'm boiling hot. And she has the paper knickers on. Bless her. Because part of it is learning how to be professional and not be like, what the fuck? You know, literally. Yeah. And I had to trim it before I could wax it. And in my head, I'm going, it's good. Get through this. Do it well. Pose for the examiner.
Yeah.
You're never touching a fanny again. I'm done.
Yeah.
I love a leg wax. Love it.
Yeah.
Queen. But I can't.
I like any type of waxing.
Nice.
Hot wax, bright pink, hot wax.
Nice.
And
you just like inflicting the pain.
Yeah.
Would you go back to it at any point? Do you ever see like, somewhere down the line I might be able to like open my own place, or you just think it's something I did and I'm glad I did it, but it's done?
I think it's done. It's done. It's a lot of effort, you know.
It's such hard work.
Like social battery, you take on everyone's problems. Did you do long hours as well?
Yeah. I did like 12 hours.
Like 8.
I had to fit everyone in. My wait list was like
10.
5 years. It was ridiculous. I couldn't keep it up.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's heavy. And it sounds really nice. So, beauty therapist.
It's graft.
It was proper graft.
Sweaty graft. And especially if you're somebody who does like body massage.
Yeah, I used to do that. I didn't do body. As well.
I only did head and above.
Yeah. No, I did the full.
No. It's exhausting.
It was,
So shout out to all the beauty therapists out there.
Yeah, I love them.
Grafting every day.
Yeah, it's tough.
For little thanks. From the government especially.
Yeah, very little thanks. Yeah.
So you got a book coming out.
I do.
Did you want to write always and it became an opportunity you had, or were you approached to write?
I was approached to write. I would have wanted to write, but I never thought that I had I just didn't think I could write. I didn't think I would ever be able to write. I was actually going to do English as a degree at uni. I ended up not going to uni and doing beauty therapy.
Yeah.
But I've always loved sort of writing, reading, anything like that. Did both English literature, English language studies. Writing's a funny thing. You never ever think that you're good enough. I never thought I'd be good enough.
Yeah.
And so it was just something that was in the background as an interest, but I never thought it would become anything.
Fiction. Because I've written factual books, but fiction, I wouldn't, it's just not my thing.
Yeah.
But the brain power must just be working.
The brain power.
Do you get hyperfocus? Because you're recently diagnosed with ADHD in the way that I was when I wrote my book. That's why I got diagnosed.
Yes.
Because I was trying to write a book and I was like, why is this empty page just screaming at me?
Yeah, no.
But did it make sense when you got your diagnosis? Did it make things make sense from like school days and things like that?
Oh, 100%.
Again, it's why me, you and Ava get on.
Yeah.
Seeing you and Ava together at the Christmas party, I was just like, I turned around, like, where's she gone? Or someone said, where's Ava gone? I went, well, Amber's gone too, so they're doing TikToks. And then like the next day or that night, whatever, there's you and Ava. I was just
chaos. Chaos. Me and Ava together.
So two ADHD maniacs.
Yeah, and it's just like overwhelming. But I did find that, I don't know, did you have help with your book?
No, weirdly enough, my first book was written without help, without meds, because I went through the NHS at first.
Right.
And then I was like, sod this, because they want you to go on like, you have to be where we lived, you have to be advised you're referred to the like mental health unit, and then they ask you questions about, have you ever thought about hurting yourself or your children? I'm like, oh, fuck this, this isn't me.
Bit much,
so, and they were like, a 2-year wait list. So I said, I'm going to go private. But by the time I got diagnosed and medicated, I'd written the book. So the first book I'd done.
Yeah.
So when it came to doing the second book, that's why it's more structured.
Right.
So the first book is like, woo, I wrote a book. And the second book is like, well, why don't we put all the SPF stuff together?
Yeah, instead of here, there, and everywhere. Yeah,
but I did the first one without being on any meds.
Yeah.
But if you can hyper-focus, it's fine. It's just getting yourself into that zone.
It's difficult. I have a co-author. So it's a bit different from a ghostwriter. Ghostwriter, you just send the stuff. You don't read anything. I just wanted a handhold, especially when you've got a platform as well. You can't bring out shit.
No. Like Naomi Campbell brought out her book, was it Swan? Something Swan?
Was it?
And it came out, she had a ghostwriter. And anyone who writes books, of course she had a ghostwriter. She's Naomi Campbell.
Yeah.
And it's not just any shade. It's just like, when is she going to have time to write a bloody book? She's on planes all the time. And then it was like all this kind of trying to deny it. And then eventually it was like, no, she had a ghostwriter. And the woman was like, it was me.
No, I've always been very transparent about having a co-author because
it's
I wouldn't be able to
sensible.
do it without. I wouldn't be able to do it without. First of all, the time. Second of all, I've never published anything. I've never published anything. So how was I supposed to know what people would like and how to sort of frame certain things or chapters? So Nadine's my co-author, and I worked with her on the first one. I'm working with her on the second one. But she's 6 times published with Mills and Boon, and so she knows what she's doing.
She knows what she's doing.
Yeah, and so if I have an idea, or if I've written something and it just doesn't sound right, she can tell us, and I'll take it out. And I'd rather that than me publish it and people go, that was fucking shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, will that even swear?
Oh, hello.
Oh,
know
yeah,
your
yeah.
audience.
Sorry, I forgot. That was shit. That was a shit book.
How did people receive it? Because people wouldn't have expected you to write a book, would they? Because you come out of Love Island. Were you 21 when you did Love Island?
I was 21 when I was on Love Island.
So young.
You know.
To me, it seems so young to be put in that position. Did you go on it thinking, I'm going to win this? Or was it just the crack? Because you're quite competitive. Like, you already said you're competitive. So you were never not going to win.
Well, that's what people say. My friends, before I went in, they went, oh, you're obviously going to win it, aren't you? And I was like, well... But I literally went on it for the crack. I really did. I did think I was going to get kicked off in the first week because I didn't need to be there. I wasn't bothered. I think everyone else really wanted to be there.
That's why it works.
And I really did not care. There was no guys that I liked. I wasn't coupling up with anyone. The producers were like, you've come on Love and you don't like anyone. I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? Like, fake it. No, I'm not.
Make the shop window more attractive,
Brian. Yeah, no, like, do better choices. I give you a list of what I liked and this is what you produced. It's not my fault. Like... At this point, it's on your casting capability. It's not me. So, yeah, I was just
what did you tell them your type was and what was offered?
I wanted, probably the type of guys at the time.
Yeah.
Guys that wouldn't go on Love Island. So I don't know what I was thinking.
So what were you doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I know it was a bit of
You still managed to win it, love.
I did. And it's quite weird because I was single for most of the show, you know.
I did know that bit. I did a bit of research. But maybe that's why. And also, by all accounts, you let your character come through. You won't try and pretend to be something, which is always so transparent.
Yeah.
When you're not being yourself. But if you sit down, were you like you are, but on Love Island? So you're just like, that's shit.
Yeah.
That's what people love.
Probably was because when I was 21, I really didn't give a shit at all. Yeah. I really didn't. And I kind of love her, the 21-year-old.
Yeah.
She did not care that 6 million people are watching her and she was like, fuck off, you're a knob. I don't like you. Like, what the hell was I doing?
I don't fancy any of you.
I know now I'd be like, shut up, man.
But I think that's what happens being my age now, because I'm 54 and obviously you know Ava.
Yeah.
I think you go from being like Ava is, because she's 22, you get a bit more gathered through your 20s and 30s, because there's a bit of you that starts to conform, because usually if you're in a normal job, which I was for decades, you have to work your way up and you have to monitor yourself and you have to behave slightly. And then there comes a point where you're postmenopausal, and this is exactly what I think, where 2 things happen. You revert to being like you were when you were that 21-year-old. You're like, fuck you.
Yeah,
I mean, I tell you, if women had the confidence that they do at 21 and 55 through their whole lives, the world would be a completely different place.
Yeah, I know.
There wouldn't be wars.
Do you know what? I do think that part of my conforming was like, when you're in this industry, there is a level of needing to be liked as well. Yeah. And I had all type of management that, like, the press was so bothered about the press and so bothered about image. It's sort of changed now, and I think that's why I fit in better. But I was conforming because it was like, oh, you can't swear too much and you can't, share your opinions too much online. And I was like, oh, because I was new to it. Yeah. Now I've got 5 years.
And when you're a nice person, you're like, oh, I don't want to upset
them.
And now you're like, actually, what about how I feel?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean I don't want to offend them? Their views are offensive.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
It doesn't matter.
No.
If you're offended, that's on you.
It's so freeing.
And I think I just had to learn. I was in therapy, actually, but I had to learn that I'm not a bad person and I never do anything with malicious intent.
No, never.
And if I'm ever in the wrong, I'll take accountability and I'll apologise. So why the fuck does it matter what I think and what I say and how I act and if I swear or not?
And it's no one's business. The swearing thing really makes me laugh because, I mean, I had that as well. I swear a lot more now than I did when I was younger, and I think it's just getting older. And, my granddad used to say, because he was a Southern gentleman, people only swear when they've got nothing better. They're not intelligent enough to think of something else to say. And I'm like, that's fucking wrong.
Yeah.
I could think of 10 ways to tell you you're wrong, but I'm just going to say that's bollocks.
Yeah. Don't you have a thing in your office?
There's a lot of, yeah.
Was looking at that photo. I took a photo of it.
Yeah.
A lot of ways to use the fucking sentence.
Well, no, it's GFDA. They're called good fucking design advice.
Yeah.
And it's there's a poster and there's a picture and you can do screenshots and everything. So it's which you'll relate to, my screensaver on my computer at work is stop fucking around.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, focus.
All the time, yeah.
But it's just like loads of things like believe in your fucking self, but everything has an F word in it, yes.
Yeah, I loved it. I've got a photo of it on my phone.
Yeah,
when I came to visit.
I mean, you come into our office, you're going to get our energy. Mm-hmm. It's a good energy.
I love swearing. I love it.
Swearing.
I just love it.
I do too.
And I love being around people who love swearing as well.
I do too. I think you have to get, and again, it's that whole thing about it's not about you.
Yeah.
I'm not swearing at you. I'm just using words and swearing.
Yeah.
When people are like, oh, it's offensive. I'm like, why? Because you've been told a word is offensive.
Get the stick out your arse.
Yeah, literally. This episode is obviously brought to you by the SkinRocks app, your free-to-download ultimate guide to skincare made by me, all in one place, with a catalogue of over 24,000 products and over 600 expertly written articles and guides with new content daily. It really is your destination for your best skin yet. And I'm thrilled, because I can, to offer you an exclusive discount to unlock an elevated app experience with exclusive features and even more skincare expertise from me, plus so much more. Revolutionise the way you discover, shop and learn about skincare with our multi-award-winning app. Download the SkinRocks app for free and sign up to premium with your exclusive code CHPOD, all in caps, to save £10 off your annual subscription. More details in the show notes. Right, let's chat skincare and beauty. Has your routine changed since you first qualified, since you did Love Island? What was it like when you were in Love Island? Did you do anything?
Of course, I was known for doing my skincare routine.
Right.
I was one of the girlies that used to always take my makeup off properly, and that's what I was known for.
Right.
On a night time, everyone else was in bed, and I was like doing all my bits. And we used to get sent
so much.
All these different products. Yeah, but it's definitely changed from before because I had no money before, so. I used to use whatever I could find in the beauty salon. I'd be like, Mandy, can I take this toner home, please? And she'd be like, yeah. So it was all Yonka.
Yeah, of course. What you can get hold of. What we all did, of course.
And then I can't remember what it was in Love Island, but it was just so much. Everyone was throwing stuff out there.
They bombard you with stuff. Yeah.
And I loved it. I used every single thing I could find in that villa. It's like, yeah, I'll take it all for me. Thanks.
Did you have to wear much more makeup when you're on camera? Because you don't really wear a lot of makeup. Did you have to do it when you're on camera? How does it work behind the scenes? Do they make you...
No. They just let you do what you want.
You just carry on as normal, right?
Yeah,
okay. So there's nothing that's staged and they're like, you do your makeup and it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is, yeah. I used to do really heavy makeup on an evening. None during the day, but heavy on an evening. Just so it felt like I was doing something. Part of the process of filming was like a section to do your makeup. So I just used to put a big lash on and all the rest of it.
Oh, nice. But you don't do it now. You're not bothered, are you?
Here and there, depends. If I fancy it and I want to do it, I'll do it. But
isn't that, again, so freeing?
Yeah.
It's like you're not doing it to impress anyone. You're doing it based on how you feel.
Yeah. And I don't even realise sometimes that I don't wear makeup because I'm just not wearing it. And people be like, oh, my God, you're not wearing makeup. I'm like, it's just my face. Like, it's just my face. I didn't think about, oh, I'm not going to wear any makeup today. Whereas most people don't do that. They're like, I've got to put my face on.
Yeah.
Like,
but it's nice that you're already feeling that way at 26.
I don't know how it happened. I dragged myself through it. That's how.
Is there any part of you that wants to do anything back on TV? Or are you kind of done?
I don't really have my sights set on TV.
Yeah.
I find it like...
stifling.
Yeah, man. It's just repetitive. It's a bit boring. Like
a lot of waiting around.
Yeah. So I just did a show on Channel 4 called Josh Must Win. It was really good. Yeah. If I got something like that again, it's quite a hard concept to do again. But if that come up again, I would definitely do that. But I don't have my sights set on anything. I need to do a podcast.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. And then I think I want to do something in the clothing
sector.
Sense.
That makes sense.
Because I don't want to do anything beauty and skincare. You've got that. You can have that.
Thanks, mate.
I'm not joining.
Thanks, mate.
No, I wanted to, but I just think I don't know what space I would have, and it would be forcing it for the sake of the fact that I was a beauty therapist, so I'm doing that. Yeah. But there's a couple of sections in the swimwear industry that I think are not hitting where it should be hitting. In terms of how wide these bits are here.
I mean,
ridiculous. Why does mine seem like it's abnormally larger than everyone else's? Because it's like hanging out
not.
this side.
Do you remember that? Do you watch Kardashians, the clip where Khloe says something like, Kim, why is my cooch like hanging out of the flap? Like literally.
Yeah.
Like you can't wear that kind of thing.
You can't. And so I'm sick of it.
You certainly can't swim or dive or do anything.
You can't do anything. You just got to stand and look pretty. You can't move.
Did you see the athletes? The Nike did the outfits for the US track team outfit, and it was like they were doing it for OnlyFans.
Was it?
It was so high cut that they obviously that's what they showed on the models, and then it always takes the bigger people in the industry to go, I'm not fucking wearing that.
Yeah, there's not a chance.
I'm not wearing that. I'll wear that with tights under it.
Yeah.
And they've had to come out and say, oh, this is just available if people need it. We also have things that are full coverage and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, you're a runner.
It's just...
You're not doing it for porn.
So, yeah, I think there's a gap. So
Definitely.
And it's something that I'm so interested in. I love bikinis. I love swimwear. And so I think I want to do that.
Good.
You know?
Put it out there. I like that.
Yeah.
What is your skincare routine at the moment, though?
So...
Do you stick to it?
No.
Yeah, you just swap and change.
I do like swapping and changing.
Yeah.
So I do cleansers. I seem like a right lickers. Your cream cleanser. I do like it, man.
I'm
I
not
like
being
it.
funny. Most of the people I've got on here are mates.
Right.
And I take care of most of my mates, so it's
Yeah.
fine, don't worry.
Or barbersturm enzyme.
Yeah.
Then I love the control acid. Or Oskia floral water
Oh,
when
I
I'm
love
not
Oskia.
using...
What a brand.
Yeah, it's great.
Great.
When I'm not using the control, because obviously I don't use it every day.
Yeah, of course.
Hyaluronic serum from Bob Sturm. Sunday
Riley.
Vitamin C. La Mer eye cream. I just like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I know it gets a lot of...
I love a bit. No, I love a bit of La Mer.
Either your Rich Moisturiser or Dr. Jart Ceramide.
Do you need the Rich?
I like it.
You just like it?
Yeah, depends on the day. To be
Okay,
fair,
I
I've
was
got
going
both
to say.
of them.
Because normally we wouldn't sell Control with Rich.
Yeah.
Because Control's more for an oily skin and Rich is obviously not.
But I like looking like glazed donut though.
Like
you know?
glazed donut. It's good for a glazed donut look.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I think I didn't use the Rich one today. I used the normal one today. And
SPF?
ultraviolet SPF.
Nice. Anything different at night?
Barbara Sturm night serum. Always a Dennis Cross LED mask. Love that.
And also love Dennis Gross. If you haven't met them, I'll make sure when they're over that you do.
No.
Because Carrie, he's lovely.
Yeah.
But Carrie, his wife, is the powerhouse behind the brand.
I
And she's
love
very
that.
New York. We saw him, Al and I saw him, we were over, and she's very, Dennis. I told Dennis. And I did the impression of her.
Dennis?
His name's Dennis.
Oh, Dennis.
So,
Oh, Dennis.
Dennis.
I think
But
you were saying dead ass. I was like, dead ass what?
No, Dennis. But I did the impression of her for her and Dennis. And she went, is that what I sound like, Dennis? And he went, yes, honey. But they're an amazing couple.
I went
Brilliant
to the
brand.
facial, the 5-minute facial in New York.
Yeah.
I sat down waiting, ready to be there for an hour, and they did, and it was done.
Yeah, they don't mess
My
about
skin
in a
is
derm's
pinging.
office. In a derm's office, they don't mess about. That's the kind of treatment. If I went back into it, that's the kind of treatment I would do.
Yeah, it was great.
Give me a face. I'll make you glow. Get out.
Yeah.
Come back and see me again. And here's the procedure. Don't deviate.
Yeah.
Because I'll know.
Yeah. No, I know it was great though. I do like all of the paraphernalia though.
Yeah.
I like all the extra bits.
All the extras.
Yeah.
They've got a couple of extra bits over there in the States. I'll get them to send you because they've got like a spot stick, which is amazing. But it's a blue light, but you can just hold it on the spot.
Do they?
Yeah.
I like the little peel thingies that they do
Yeah.
as well. And I've got the lip treatment. I use that on a night time.
Yeah.
And Dr. Jart's sheet masks on a night as well. I love.
Nice.
I'm trying to
Nice.
think of
Good
anything
routine.
else.
Anyone think you knew what you were doing?
What? I know. It's not like I'm qualified or anything, you know. No, it's getting better as time goes on, though. Because I don't think that I learned the most when I did beauty therapy.
It's more you learn the basics and anatomy and physiology and structure and all that, and then you learn more when you work on faces.
Yeah.
Then you're like, oh, that's the reaction that has on that skin.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's why I think that led to my success on the shop floor, because someone would walk in to like Space and Cane Richmond back in the day, which is a store I opened a long time ago, 99.
Wow.
Yeah, and that wasn't my first Space and Cane store. That was the first one I managed of my own. And they'd walk in and go, I need a really good foundation. And I wouldn't go, okay, over here. I would go, why? What's wrong with your skin?
Yeah.
I mean, quite rude, really.
Yeah. No, I love that.
But
though.
not, and they go, oh, no, I couldn't. I was like, just let me have a look and then take the makeup off. And I'd be like, okay, what are you using? And they show me and I'd be like, no, I'm going to give you a new routine.
Yeah.
And that's where it started.
Yeah,
The obsession. I was already obsessed, but then it was like, oh, I know a lot about a lot of product, to the point where we would joke around and do like, sample pots of all these different products, but in white pots, you know what it was, and I would guess them all.
No
based on texture and smell.
way.
Hyperfocus.
I know, I love that though. I wish I was like that. I wasn't that good.
No, but I'm double your age, love. You would be. If you'd stayed working in the industry for the same amount of time I did, you would easily know. Easily. And that's not unique to me. Anyone who's worked in retail a long time, beauty retail, knows every brand, every product, what's been discontinued, especially if you've worked somewhere like Space NK.
Yeah.
Not an ad. Genuinely not an ad.
Yeah.
I did an event at Liberty, and one of the questions our social asked was, what would you advise anyone who's going to try and get into the business?
Yeah.
And the clip they used was me saying, get a job on the shop floor. Start on the shop floor.
Yeah.
You will learn so much. You learn so much from interacting with people that you don't get, the life experience. You don't get that anywhere else. You'll learn about product. You'll learn about how people's faces react to it. Start from there.
That's the basics, yeah.
And don't be a dick.
Yeah.
That's my number one advice.
I like fiddling on, though, because if you fiddle, then you figure out different ways of doing things. Like, that's what I used to love when I was doing my clients.
Yeah.
I just used to mess on. Obviously, I was qualified to mess
appropriately,
on.
not
like,
just playing.
Yeah. And that was my favourite bit. And it was like, ooh, she likes that, and that works better for her, and it was completely different. If I kept doing it, I probably would be like that.
Yeah, of course you would.
I need to brush up on your books and stuff because I feel out of the loop now.
I could probably hook you up with a copy. I've
got them already, man. My mum got us them for Christmas. I'm your number one fan.
So if you were only 21 when you came out of the villa, I don't know, what was your following before versus when you came out? And it all goes on when you're in there and you don't have access to your phone, right? So what happened when you came out? What was the process? Because that's what always interests me. What happens behind the camera when you go, you've won, and then you come out to what? How do you cope when you're 21?
You don't. So I went in with 3,000 or 4,000 Instagram followers. 2 months went by without my phone, so I didn't know what was going on.
2 months?
2 months, yeah.
Did you not speak to your family at all for 2 months?
No. I was the first person to walk in and the last person.
2 months?
Yeah.
That's longer than anything. That's longer than the jungle.
It's the longest thing ever, yeah. Not everybody has 2 months, but I was the first one in, last one out.
Wow.
It's kind of a little bit of a flex.
Such an overachiever.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a flex. And then I came out and I had 2 million followers on Instagram.
Shit the bed.
Yeah. Horrendous. And I don't think you do cope because, with anything else, with anyone that's building a platform or whatever, you can sort of see the growth. Okay, I've got 100K now and I'm getting more comments. I've got 200K and you can see you're hitting the milestones.
I know what time to post, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Me, I posted one blurry photo a month of me and my friends on Instagram. So now I had 2 million followers. I'm like, what the hell do you want to see? I don't know what you want to see. I don't even like to share that much.
No.
And so it was hell. I was like, I don't know what.
How do they help you cope with that? Do the TV production crew, do they do it? Because they say they do, they get lip service. I always wonder that they don't.
They try to, but I don't think it's possible. It's not possible because they don't know.
They don't know what it's like. They can't experience it.
They don't know. I was thinking I want to go in and tell people and help people because I would just say it is shit. Even though I won and it was great and everyone loved it, and it is shit in ways because you just don't know how to handle it. And we did get sort of training and we did get therapy, but there's no amount of training that can prepare you for it because it's you living the experience.
Was it like all over the Daily Mail all the time and all that sort of stuff?
All the time.
Shit.
I couldn't breathe without, and I was 21.
Where did you live?
I lived
Were you on your own?
I lived in Newcastle for a bit, moved to Notting Hill and into where I am now, yeah.
But you were on your own?
I was on my own, yeah.
Shit.
I was on my own when I moved out of London on my own.
That's terrifying.
I don't know what the hell I was doing. And I don't think I was processing how big of things I was doing. I wasn't processing it. I was just doing it.
Yeah.
Who moves out to London by themselves at 21, has 2 million followers, go on TV, go on this and that. It was just too much. It was the craziest thing ever, and I hated it.
And there can be a stigma attached to people who do reality TV in that way, and especially something like Love Island, where people have done things on camera and stuff like that. Did you experience that when you came out? Did people have misconceptions about you? Because I think you're seen as being, like most people, to be fair, with ADHD are seen as being gobby, overconfident, but when actually most of us are introverts.
Yeah.
Most of us are actually quite happy on our own, quite quiet. But because there is no sort of off switch or a filter switch, you'll just be like, well, I think that's shit. Because you just say it. We haven't been conditioned to be like, oh, don't upset anyone all the time. Did you have a stigma? And how did you what were the misconceptions where you were like, that's not what I am. That's not who I am.
I was really lucky because I got to stay in for so long that I went through like a process of like people disliking us to then liking us. I think I
Right.
started to understand my personality, and it was so funny because people be like, she's grown so much, and I'm like, I haven't grown. You've just seen different parts of my person. I haven't been sitting on a beanbag and suddenly I've changed into a different personality. You've just seen more of my personality. So in the first week, I think I was the most hated person in Britain at the time.
Why?
I was the most hated because I told some guy he didn't suit the sunglasses he had on, and
Oh
everyone was
my
like, she's
God.
such a bitch, and I'm like, well, he didn't. What do you want us to say? He did. He looked horrible.
Oh.
And then I was 21 and he was 28, and I said, God, that's a bit old. For me, it was a bit old at the time for me, and apparently I was a bitch for that.
Oh,
and I was
right.
just a bitch. Everyone
God forbid you have an opinion.
Yeah, God forbid I say anything
Yeah.
negative about it. Wasn't even negative. He didn't suit. He asked
Yeah.
for my opinion and I gave it to him.
Don't ask, don't
And
get.
so I was the most hated person ever. And I remember my mum rang the producers. She told me this after, and she was like, "Get her out of the place now.
Get her out. I'm
Get
coming
her
down. I'm going to
out.
go and get her."
Get her out." Like, yeah.
Oh.
And they were like, no, she's fine. And I'm glad that, can you imagine? I'm like, fucking don't ever do that again. She could have ruined everything for us.
But I would do the same.
Yeah, I know,
If
I know.
Ava was there,
No, I know.
I would be like, "You're making her look bad."
I know.
But I'd be like, "You're making my daughter look bad. I'm going to come down there and set fire to your office."
Yeah, I know. No, my mum's a bit softer than that. I think I'm more like you. But I said that to my mum. I said, "Mum, people probably aren't," because she's much softer than me. I said, people probably aren't going to like us immediately, and that's fine. Just get over it.
That's a lot of self-awareness, though, for someone so young.
I've always known, like, people just don't
They
like
think
to
you're a
be
bit
told
much.
the truth.
And then they kind of go,
and then they
"Oh,
come round,
okay."
yeah, no, I'm the best friend that you ever have because I'll always be honest. I'll stick up for what I think is right. I'm good. There's good parts. Like, it's not just me saying, "Hey, you can fuck off and you can fuck off." There's
No.
good parts as well, and I think people got to see that. And so I was one of the lucky people. By the end, when I won, everyone really had a good opinion of us.
Yeah, they did.
But I do get misinterpreted all the time as a bully. I didn't know one person that bullied. I couldn't be arsed. Like, I don't care about
How are you a
anyone.
bully?
I don't know. That's the biggest thing I get, is that I'm a bully and that I'm rude. I'm like, well, sometimes a little bit rude, but I'm not a bully.
But I always think that pressure comes on women. Men never get accused of being rude
Nah.
in that way. It's always on women.
No?
And it's usually other women doing the complaining.
Yeah.
It's usually women on women, which really is distressing.
It's so sad.
So sad.
Isn't it? It's so
because
sad.
it's kind of, I feel like the media stir it up, let it happen, and then go, "Well, isn't that shocking?"
Yeah.
to both parties. And you're like, "Oh, you caused
like,
this.
shut up, man.
You caused it."
Pit against each other as well. It's
Yeah,
just...
I mean, I do that when I do like a Q&A on Insta.
Yeah.
Ask me anything, and they'll say Brittany or Whitney, and I'm like, both. I'm not pitching them against each other.
Yeah, no, never.
But you kind of get to that mentality, or you don't.
What's that? Don't...
You know, you're either going to be like, "Oh, blah blah blah," or pitching against each other, or you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Well,
yeah.
actually, no, I just want all women to succeed."
I've never, ever been like that. I've
No.
always supported girls.
Yeah.
Always. Because we just have such a fucking hard time anyway. Like,
Yeah.
why am I going to go against...
Nah.
No,
No.
I always support the girls. And I think that was one of the things on Love Island that people really liked about me.
Okay.
I was backing them girls, even when they were dead wrong. I was there. I'm like, no, that's not right. Actually, I was there. Girls supporting girls, I love it. Oh, and as well, I almost got cancelled
When?
back when I was 21.
Why?
I went out and I looked worse for wear at a party, and everybody wanted everything taken off, his money taken off, his deals taken off.
What, thinking you were out of it on drugs or something
Yeah.
like that? Oh, for God's
Actually
sake.
wasn't, though. I wasn't. So that
But
was
again, would never happen to a man.
Oh, no.
It would be
there's
so-and-so
another
having
guy,
a great
right?
time, having a great time.
There was another guy literally caught doing the thing, and it was like, well, what do you
Boys will
expect?
be
He's in
boys, his-
Ibiza.
Yeah.
Everyone does it, but me, I didn't even do anything. It was just my jaw did look a bit crazy. Like, I can't have to admit, it did look crazy, but it's not my fault. I
And
was
it's
drunk.
what angle they get you at. And
It
if
was
you've had a
the
drink.
angle, yeah. And it didn't look good. So I kept my mouth shut because I was like, do you know what? If I saw a photo like that, I would probably think the same, but it wasn't true. But the attitude to me and him was so crazy.
So
It
different.
was
We're
like,
held to such different standards.
I'm held to such a fucking high
and
standard.
that's what I push back against.
Yeah,
that's
no, I'm
what
not
I push
having
back
it.
against.
No,
I'm
you
just like,
can't.
no, don't ask something of me that you wouldn't ask of someone sitting next to me.
Exactly.
That's male.
Exactly.
What do you wish you'd known when you went into it? Like, do you wish that there was guidance on, look, when you come out, even if you win or lose, this is going to be the scenario and this is what we suggest you do. Do you wish you'd been more clued up before you went in? Or do you think actually at the end there should be a different process in place that helps everyone through that situation?
I don't know, because
What would you have done differently? Anything?
I don't know, because look, where I am now, I'm happy, and so
Yeah.
I can't say I would do anything differently. So maybe just experience it for what it is, and just know it's not going to last forever. The way that you're feeling now, or
Yeah.
the eyes that you have on you now, it's not going to
gonna
last forever. So, and that's may be a bad thing to you or a good thing. I think it's the best thing ever because now I still work in the industry, but I don't have so many eyes and so much pressure on it. So that's probably the one thing that I would say, because I don't think that
everything, this too shall pass.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think that there's anything that you can do. Just like live it and try and have fun, and nothing's that deep. It might seem deep, and the Daily Mail might fucking hate you, but it doesn't matter.
Because everyone hates the Daily Mail anyway, who cares?
Yeah, everyone hates them. Nobody even reads it anyway.
No, they just read the sidebar of shame.
And also, things seem more intense because it's you.
Yeah.
But nobody gives a shit.
No one cares.
No one cares.
Ultimately, there's like, we have a saying in the office, which is like, no one cares about your problems. But it's said in a jokey way. But what it means is, if it's life or death, like what we do is great. We all work hard. Yeah. We do our thing. What really matters is your health and the health of your loved ones.
Exactly.
That's all we ultimately care about. If someone comes to me and says, like, you know, you get everything, like, because I've had staff for a long time. My train was late, this happened, this happened. Ultimately in my head, I'm going, I don't give a shit. Are you going to work or not? Because I know you'll perform at some point. Yeah. If they come to me and they're visibly upset and something has happened to one of their family, it's completely different. We down tools. What do you need? Yeah. Can I get you home? Yeah. How do we get you there? What else do you need? That's completely different, because that is ultimately it's what matters.
It's important.
So anything that's in the paper, anything that's in the press,
doesn't matter.
It seems like it's all that anyone's ever talking about when it's happening to you. It's not. No one gives a shit. Everyone's got their own shit.
Do you know what I mean? If I read something and said, oh, Caroline did this, I don't care. Good for you.
It's just
do
random,
you know what I mean? Like, I don't care because I've got my own things.
And also, when things like that happen, I always found it, like happened this morning, it was like something about someone else who's got a really big profile. And I just messaged them and I was like, this happened. They were like, I don't give a shit. Yeah. Because you get to a point where like, you know what's important.
But I think that comes with experience. So you've just got to live. You've got to live it, unfortunately.
Live it. Try and have fun with it.
Yeah. But I'd say don't sign up for Love Island without knowing what you're getting into first. But I didn't, and it worked out perfectly for me. But I wouldn't recommend it because it was like a train
going
wreck.
in blind.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about the influencer world. I didn't know anything about the PR world, press, TV world. I knew nothing about nothing.
Did they approach you?
Yeah, it wasn't something that I would do.
Yeah,
I think people can probably tell now. It's not really.
Yeah, they approached you.
I really sort of stick out like a sore thumb, like because I'm not.
What was it, literally slipping into your DMs?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I don't know how they found us. And it was getting to a point with the beauty therapy where me and my auntie were working 9 till 11, sometimes 8 till 10. And it was just while losing the love for it. Yeah. And then that DM popped up and I showed it to her and I said, what do you think about this, Ben? And she said, just reply to the message because, like, what have you got to lose? Yeah. And I was like, I'll never get on because there's loads of people that are dying to get on. I think there was more applications for that than Oxford, Cambridge and all the university combined. Yeah.
See, even though I don't watch it, I respect how big it is. I get how big it is.
Massive. It's massive. And my season was the biggest one there was.
Yeah. Of course it was, babe.
Sorry, just a bit of a flex there for you. 6 million viewers on the final. Yeah. Never been bigger.
Own it, love. Get it on a t-shirt. Biggest final ever. I'm going to get you a little we have desk plates in the office when everyone's been there for a while. Yeah. And everyone gets a desk plate. So, like, it depends. Like, mine says, not today, Satan. Yeah. I didn't make it up. Someone gave it because I'm like, not today, Satan. Yeah. And then they bought me another one after Business of Fashion did an article that said the most powerful women in beauty. And I'm like, you assholes. As if. So they make me have that on my desk. But yours can be like, biggest final ever.
Yeah. Biggest winner. Yeah, I like that.
Okay, I'm going to give you some quick fire skincare, makeup things. If you're...
I'm shit at quick fire though, but go
No,
on.
you'll be fun.
Takes 5 seconds for my brain to kickstart.
It's fine. If your kit, dressing table, bathroom, whatever, went on fire, what would you really miss if you didn't grab it?
Oh, okay. Do you know what I love?
Go on.
I don't even want to say it because it sounds like I'm just saying it because it's you, but I love the control acid, you know.
I love the acids are game changing.
Yeah, I love it.
They're fantastic.
It's got to be that, you know.
Other acids are available.
Yeah, there are. I just like that one. That, you know, it's really helping my skin.
Yeah. Like salicylic.
Yeah, I love it. Bob's Sturm Hyaluronic Serum. I use that every day for the past couple of years. I love that.
There's interesting info out about hyaluronic now. That it's
good or bad?
That it's.
I thought you were going to ruin my day there.
No, I am.
Good.
I am.
Oh, you are.
That it's actually pro-inflammatory. Like it can, but if your skin's okay with it, fine. But that's why, for example, in my moisturisers, it's glycerin.
Right.
It's not hyaluronic acid. But if it's working for you, babe, I am not here to tell you to stop it.
I like it, you know.
Yeah, good. What about makeup? Any bits in makeup?
brow gel and a brow mascara.
Bloody love a brow gel.
Need a brow gel.
Love a brow gel. I bought the new Anastasia one. It's like a Freeze or something it's called.
Yeah, Freeze. Yeah. Like
I bought that in the States.
Slick it.
And then I bought it and I was like, I've also got the Got To Be one, which is just like hairspray.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. That one really gets you.
And then talk to me about your hair. How is it different now that you've got your locks in when it was, because I've known you since they weren't in.
Mm-hmm.
How is the upkeep and the care? What's your sort of favourite product in terms of when you're taking care of your hair?
This is so much easier than my hair.
Is it?
Yeah, it's so much easier.
Wow.
My hair's so much admin, man. I can't be arsed with it. It's so much admin.
Admin, I love it.
Yeah, there's so much admin, and it doesn't even, like, especially with curls, you never know how they're going to turn out, right? You can do the exact same routine, the exact same products, it'll turn out different every time. So frustrating.
Right.
So it was really difficult.
For the record, it always looked fantastic.
Thank you. I just, you know, when you know your own hair, and I think with my curls, people thought it was supposed to look that way, but when I looked in the mirror, I'm like, that's not how I wanted it
That's
to
what
look
I wanted.
today.
That's not what I wanted, yeah.
That's not what I wanted. So this, I don't even wash it that often. Like, you don't need to.
Yeah.
I just wash sort of the top of it, and then I put a leave-in conditioner in, and I just leave it.
And that's it.
That is it.
I mean, it's no wonder you did it then just for the ease.
It's just so easy, and I feel like this is a better look for me as well. I mean, I do love my natural hair, don't get us wrong.
Yeah.
But I just think this is the look for me right now.
Where do you what's your genetic makeup with your parents?
It's all on one side. Well, not all. Obviously, I'm British on
No, of course.
one side.
Yeah.
And then the other side is Trinidad and Tobago, Chinese, Spanish.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
It's crazy, isn't it?
And did you grow up with people speaking different
No.
languages? So everyone just speaks English?
Yeah, so annoying. Disappointing, but it is what it is. And it's so funny because
it's so cool though, right? It's so cool to just have a mix.
Yeah, I do love it. I do love it. But I think it's interesting to see the family tree, because if you look at my dad, they're all very much the look Caribbean, black. Mm-hmm. When it gets to like my cousins, everyone looks so different.
Wow.
Some people look more Spanish. Some people look more Caribbean. Some people have like Chinese, like look more Chinese. It's so
Where's
weird.
the Chinese come from?
My grandma's dad.
Wow.
Yeah.
So quite close.
Yeah, grandma's dad, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm probably more than what I know, but that's just great-grandparents. That's as far as I know.
Yeah.
And that's that mix there.
My mum's half-sister lives in the States.
Yeah.
And I have a couple of family relatives over there who are obsessed with like ancestry. And she messaged me and it said that we are the 8th cousin, twice removed, of Elvis.
No way.
Yeah. And she did the chart. She went, I know everyone says this is BS, but she sent the chart and it's my granddad, my American granddad, all the way up, and you go across the married couple and it comes down and it's Elvis's mum.
What?
And I was like, well, if he was alive, I might get a Cadillac out of him.
How?
I know. And then she did some more digging, and we're related in a much more distant fashion. This is the American side of the family. My mum was born in America.
Right.
We're related to George Harrison, the Beatle.
Right.
But the Scouse side of my family, no. We're all just English, Yorkshire, boring. But the Americans got me a relationship with George Harrison, one of the most famous Scousers ever.
Wow.
How random is that?
That's very, very random.
Just shows when you, like 6 degrees of separation, you just go back a bit.
don't
We're
know,
all related.
Yeah, I know.
Just touching on the ADHD, going back for 1 second.
Yeah.
Because I have it too.
Yeah.
Do you find now that I'm only saying that because you've spoken about it publicly, that you're on meds.
Fine. Yes.
What change did they make fundamentally? Because I think lots of people think it's a trend, but what's actually happened is people are just getting the diagnosis that they weren't getting. So where kids were called naughty, they're unsettled, they won't sit still. Like that was my school report. She'd be great if she could focus. Now I look at it, I'm like, well, that's textbook.
Yeah.
Now you would just immediately go, this child might have ADHD.
Yeah.
I just think it's more common than we thought, and people are just talking about it more.
I think it's 1 in 20 people.
Yeah.
No, I think it's 1 in 20. Yeah. I do get irritated when I talk about it though, because everyone's like, it's just trending.
Well, try being that and menopausal. People are like, oh, everything you're talking about is a soundbite. I'm like, no, it's actually my life.
Yeah, like unfortunately, like, do you think that I want to have it? Like, no, I'd prefer to just
literally
function normally.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't mind talking about it because I think that a lot of women especially just don't think of it, because I think we experience it in a very different way. Yeah.
Why can't I focus? Why can't I keep up?
Well, I just had this thing where I thought I was so lazy. I thought I was so lazy. I'm like, what is wrong with you? And I used to be so critical of myself.
We are extremely hard on ourselves.
I was ridiculously hard.
Yeah.
And then, it really heightened, I think, why I got to the point where I got a diagnosis, because I think earlier in school and stuff, I didn't really notice what was going on. But after Love Island, it was noticeable because there was people that had collections and they were posting so much on social media and they were doing this, that, I couldn't do anything, and everyone was like, she won the show and she's not doing anything. And I'm like, I'm going at the pace that I can.
But then again, that probably stood you in good stead, because you didn't cash in straight away.
Yeah.
You didn't come out and cash in and then disappear. I couldn't tell you the names of anyone else who's been in Love Island except the ones that we know that we've had,
Yeah.
That's the only ones I remember.
Yeah.
But then I know I don't watch it, but I'm the same with anything, because my memory, with me, it's memory.
Yeah.
There are some things I will never forget. And then there's some things that I think about. I've tracked my food on MyFitnessPal, which I have done for like I think I'm on day 378.
Wow.
I know. And that's just something if I don't track it, I'll go off kilter.
Yeah.
I've completely lost track. Shocking, I know, for ADHD. But how did it change your life, like now? Where do you notice the difference? Because I don't take the meds at the weekend if I'm not working. I only take them to focus.
Really?
Yeah, if I just need to do housework and hang out with babies and watch telly, I don't take the meds.
I take them every day, But
I did do for a while, but I think for me it's just I actually think I forget as well, because I'm just like, because what I don't forget to take is my HRT, so I just keep them together.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm the same, because I forget, and then I'm thinking, why am I scattered? Why is the shower running? I'm putting the dishwashers in the dish and everything's just chaos. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot to take the meds. But so it changed in every way possible. Like my life just completely.
Really?
Yeah.
When were you diagnosed?
Oh, like 2 years ago.
And what made you go for the diagnosis, or did someone say, I think you've got ADHD?
I always had a little. It was that Love Island stuff that happened.
Right.
That's where I was like, what the hell's going on? Because I did win the show and everyone loved us and everyone was wanting us to do loads of stuff, and I physically couldn't do it. Like, I physically couldn't. I started proper pronging out because I just couldn't understand why I was so lazy, why I wasn't getting shit done and whatever.
You should be doing more, you should be doing more.
Yeah, I should be doing more.
Always in my ear, always.
I should be doing more.
Yeah.
They're growing on Instagram and you're not. And I had to do therapy because I was like, I'm going to lose my mind if I don't do this. And then it was when I started therapy, I started just questioning everything and then researching ADHD. And I was like, you've been like this from early, but it wasn't as predominant in my life, because I think when you're a beauty therapist, if I get told I need to be somewhere at 9, I'll be there.
And it's hyper-focus.
Out of shame, out of shame of not letting someone else down.
Yeah.
Now that I have my own business and it's all on me and it's just posting a TikTok, you can't fucking pay me to do it. You can't. It's ridiculous. Whereas beauty therapy, I didn't want to let my clients down.
So weird, because I'm exactly the same. My lot will be like, see, you've got to post this. You've got to post this. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it, man. Whatever. I'm making a tea.
Yeah.
But if I'm doing it for someone, or if I've got to be somewhere or I'm letting someone down, then the pressure is real.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
No, it's ridiculous. And like, it was then. And then it was when I was in one of my relationships, they noticed it massively. They were like, fucking hell, how do you function? Packing a suitcase or anything. Like, they were like, you need to do something about this because you just look like you're suffering.
Are you on meds via the NHS, or have you got a private doc?
No, private.
Yeah, I had to. You have to.
Private.
It's so bad. And this is no shade on anyone who works in the NHS. It's just the lack of funding for it. I
did another podcast and I just posted a clip from it. And the comments are all talking about like private and how private clinics are so bad and the Panorama documentary.
I know,
I'm like, yeah, but if you go to a private clinic and tell them that you have ADHD symptoms, you're going to get diagnosed with ADHD. What more do you want? Like, do you think that people spend £800, £900, sometimes £1,000, if it's not likely that they have it? Like, they're not going to waste money.
It's desperation.
Yeah.
It's not a trend. It's desperation, because you feel like you can't crack on. Maybe that's why I need to take the meds at the weekend, because actually it's at the weekend when I fall down. It's when my diet falls down. It's when I don't exercise.
Yeah.
So I think I've just actually solved my own problem. Thanks
Take
for that. Thanks for that.
It.
I'll just take the meds. I'll be like, no, take the meds.
No, I do it every day. Yeah, just because I don't want to fall off.
It seems the kids don't take the meds. They just don't. Ava came off them almost straight away as soon as she'd done her exam. She was like, it does something to my brain, Mum, I don't like it. I'm like, well, then don't take them, love.
Which kind?
I'm not sure what she was on.
Yeah.
Probably something like an
Ritalin
Amphexor or something. Similar. But they don't really give out the written that much, especially to the youngsters these days. But, well, in our experience anyway.
Because sometimes people say that they do get sort of weird on Ritalin, but mine's absolutely fine.
Yeah, mine is.
I feel like a better version of myself.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Because one thing that I was worried about when I was taking them, I was like, what if I'm not funny anymore? What do I do?
Oh, you'll be
What
funny.
if I lose my personality? I was like
scared.
Mean,
the horror.
I know, can you
That's
imagine?
why we get on. The banter, the ADHD.
I know, but it's fine. I'm on the meds and I'm still, well, I hope I'm still funny, yeah?
You are still funny, babe, don't worry. Still hot, still funny, still intelligent, all good, still got it, don't
Thanks.
worry.
I needed that.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to the swimsuit collection.
Thank you.
And can you make them for women who aren't perhaps your age or size as well, please?
Yeah, of course. Always. Yeah.
I know,
Always.
I know. And yeah, I can't wait to see what you do next, love.
Hey, thank you.
You can hear much more from our chat this Wednesday, so make sure you tune in. Send your questions to pod@carolinehirons.com. Until then, I'm glad we had this chat. New episodes are available every Monday and Wednesday. Follow or subscribe now on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Glad We Had This Chat is produced by Wall to Wall Media.